the die and dice classes with encapsulation. Now, in case you want to hide certain parts in the die and dice classes, you can use encapsulation to do so. So here we will write a simple die and dice class package that we will import in another code. So for that, we write import random to generate random numbers on the dice. And then we create a class die, and in this we define the init method and the attribute sides for the number of sides of the dice. And now I will define another method for rolling the dice. So roll self. So now I write self.value is equal to random.random 1 to self.sides. It will generate random integers between the range 1 to how many also sides are there on the die. So we return the value. Now this is a normal class without any encapsulation. Suppose I want to hide the attribute value. So I'll write underscore underscore value is equal to 0 initially, and as we roll it we will again write here underscore underscore. So therefore only we can access the attribute value only through the method roll. Or we can also make a property over here specifically for accessing the value. So for that we can write def value. If we have to write the property decorator, and then we have to write def, the name of the attribute that is value, and then we return self dot underscore underscore value. This is the die class with encapsulation. Now we will import this in another code to actually implement it. So here I will import the name of the code that we have saved minus the .py extension. So I've saved it as die.py, and I will just import it as die. And now s is equal to int input, enter the number of sides. We are asking the user to enter the number of sides of the die. And next is we are going to write d is equal to die. So from the die package we are accessing the die class, and we have given the s as the attribute that is for sides. So we write v is equal to d dot value, and in this we will write value of die is v. We have to write the we have to first roll the die. So we write d dot roll, then we print the value. So now we run the code and they'll ask for the number of sides. So I write 6 and we get 4. You can test it out by running again and seeing if the value of is the same, and it says 2. So it is a randomly generated number. And we'll create another class dice. So it will be the same as the die class, just a few additions to it. We change the class name to dice, and then we give the value as a empty list instead of a 0. And here there will be an extra attribute, that is the number of dice. And now we will write a while loop here. So I write while self.n is greater than 0, roll. So we run this roll method. So self.roll. So we'll decrement to the value of n by 1, and we in the roll function we will just append this value to the value list. And now I can go back to my code, and instead of die now we will have dice, and we will take an extra input. N is equal to int input, enter the number of dice. Now I don't need to call the roll method over here because it does that in the package itself. I don't need to explicitly call roll. And when I run this code, it will say enter the number of sides, I write 6, and enter the number of die, I write 2. So it gave me the values 4 and 1. Let's run this again to check if it gives a different value. So you run this again and we enter the same input 6. Let's put 5 dice. So it is 2, 1, 6, 5, 6. So this is how the die and dice class can be done with encapsulation.